Hi, Christine. You did a great job. Thank you so much for your post on counseling disparities in the Arab American community. First, I'm so glad that everybody did this. I think we all kind of did the same thing, but honestly, I really appreciated the way you highlighted the cultural nuances and the systemic challenges that impact the mental health care for this population. And, I think I'd like to add a few thoughts of my own and ask some questions to kind of keep the conversation gather going because that's what we're supposed to do. But I think when we look at the cultural identity and the counselor competence, I think one thing that really stood out here is how Arab Americans, their identity is often so misunderstood and it's oversimplified in the clinical setting. Um, when we look at the article, the Hayes and Erfer, the 2022, we emphasize, that article emphasized the importance of developing that multicultural counseling competence through a systems approach, and which includes understanding your client's cultural and political and historical context. You know, I guess I could say I'm curious. I really am. How do you think, counselors could better recognize diversity within the Arab American community, especially when it comes to religion or their immigration history and the generational differences? I also found the article by Tedros and Marin, 2024, really compelling. You know, honestly, they talk so much about how building trust with Arab American clients often requires, counselors to be attuned to values like family and loyalty, privacy, and respect for authority. So, you know, it made me think, how might our tone, how we approach people, and our body language, or even our office setup, which is so very important, and how these affect the comfort level of an Arab American client. Have you ever come across any strategies that help foster that culturally safe space? If so, I would definitely like to hear them. And when we go back to it, it's not just that. It's not just that trust and that therapeutic alliance. It's also the language and the representation, if you think about it. Another challenge, truthfully, is language. While we have Arab Americans fluent in English, some may feel more emotionally expressive in Arabic. I mean, yet, but how many Arabic speaking, you know, counselors do you know? I know it's limited. Do you think, honestly, do you think that increasing that linguistic representation in the field could help reduce, I guess you could say, those disparities? And I guess, I guess you could say, what role or how could you stretch the community outreach and encouraging Arabic Arab Americans to seek therapy? I mean, how would we push for that? And if you think about it, what's the stigma there? I mean, mental health across the board is still taboo, and it's really a taboo topic in Arab American households. So, if we go back to Tedros and Merrim in 2024, and we suggest that psychoeducation and family inclusive approaches can help reduce a resistance. But is it true? I mean, really, can it? I just wonder how might counselors balance respecting cultural norms while gently challenging those harmful stigmas. I mean, that's tough. It's such a tough area. Um, Christine, let me just say I really valued your perspective, and I would love to hear your thoughts on any of these points. Thanks again for bringing your attention to such an important topic. I think all of us did it because it is such an underrepresented culture. And I think it was such a great opportunity for us to do that. I'm looking forward to continuing this dialogue. We don't get many chances, and I know we probably won't get the opportunity to reply, but this would be a fun topic to discuss. Um, to cite my sources, I used Hayes and Erford, 2022, um, developing multicultural counseling competence. It was from Vital Source, a bookshelf version. And then I used Tedros Merrim, 2024, Therapy with Arab American Clients. That was from Psychology Today. So thank you, everybody. Have a good day.